Welcome to the series where I test out money-making methods from the OSRS Wiki. Feel free to leave suggestions on which moneymaker you'd like to see next. And also, if you didn't already know, I have a nice playlist that I've created that has all of the previous moneymakers that I've already tried, so go ahead and check it out if you haven't already. With that being said, let's get into the video. So for today's video, we'll be mining amethyst rocks. This is actually a personal favorite of mine because it is a very AFK training method, and it is what I did all the way to 99 once I reached the 92 mining requirement. In terms of how AFK this moneymaker is, I'd say it's on par with fishing for sacred eels. And that's because you can bring a chisel to chisel these amethyst rocks into different ammo for range equipment, which means that you don't have to bank while you're here. But for this video, since the output shows that you are just getting amethyst, we're gonna go ahead and bank all the amethyst that we mine. Thankfully, there are no quest requirements for this moneymaker, but there are some items that you might want to get before trying this out. And some of those items are shown here. It is the expert mining gloves and the Varrock plate body 4. I'm also bringing my crystal pickaxe because my dragon pickaxe seemed to evolve in one of my previous videos. So it'll be nice to see how much XP we get with this new tool compared to the dragon pickaxe that I used on my way to 99 mining, which at the time there was no crystal pickaxe. Besides those items, I am bringing my prospector's outfit, and that is just to get some bonus mining XP. I'm also bringing an amulet of glory to increase the chance of gems, because you can receive gems from the amethyst rocks. And in my inventory, you can see that I'm bringing a gem bag to store those gems so that they don't clog up the inventory. I'll go over the effects of the plate body and the expert mining gloves later on in the video. Like I said before, they are very important items, and it is probably a good idea to get those before you do this, although they are not required. Now, as for getting to the place where we will be mining the amethyst rocks, you can use a skills necklace to teleport to the mining guild, and then I will show you right now how to get there. It's not too far away from this teleport. You just go through this door and run south for the most part, southwest. And if you're looking for a place to train up to 92 mining, there's a couple spots here in the mining guild where you can train at the iron ore, which is what I did for a good amount of my mining. I did power mine iron, as you can see right there, and there's someone already there hitting those 3 spots. But here is the area where you will be mining the amethyst, and as you can see, there's already a nice amount of people here. It's definitely worth it to hop worlds and find an empty space, because people can get pretty competitive here, especially a lot of the bots that are here. Well, not really bots, but I think there's a lot of gold farmers here, and they can get pretty aggressive. They will mine the same rock that you are at just to, I guess, get you to leave. But hopefully you have better equipment than them and a higher mining level so that you can outmine them. And then here I am just showing you an alternative way to get to the amethyst rocks. If for whatever reason you can't use a skills necklace, then you can just teleport to Falador and come over here, and behind the bank you'll see this little area that has a bunch of ladders. Taking any one of these ladders will get you close to the amethyst rocks, or at least the area that's close to the amethyst rocks, the mining guild. And here we are again. You can see the guy that's power mining those 3 iron ore, and then of course there's a bank chest to the west where you will be banking all of your amethyst. And then here I am just showing you that sometimes the 2K total worlds or the 2200 total worlds are not always the best. As you can see, there is a lot of people here. So a lot of the times you'll find an empty world where there's no skill total requirement. You just gotta hop around a little bit. I suggest finding a world that has no more than 2 people, because there's really 3 spots here in the amethyst rock area where you can mine. Each person kind of sticks to their own little area. Every now and then you'll have someone who steps into your area, and it kind of sucks because you can either choose to compete for the rocks with them or just hop. So earlier I was talking about how the Varrock armor 4 and the expert mining gloves are really nice items to have. Of course, they're not required to do this moneymaker, but having them greatly increases how AFK this method is, and it can even increase the amount of money that you can make here. So the cool thing about the Varrock armor 4 is that it has a 10% chance of mining 2 ore at once. So normally when you're mining amethyst without the gloves or the Varrock armor, you can only mine 1 amethyst rock per ore. Which, whenever I first found this out, I was kind of put off by that because I thought it'd be a little more AFK. And then that was whenever I discovered the power of the Expert Mining Gloves and the Varrock Armor 4. Together, they make this method truly AFK. So along with that 10% chance to mine 2 amethyst rocks at once, the Expert Mining Gloves give you a 25% chance for the vein on the wall to not be depleted. This means that you can mine 2 amethyst rocks at once and still be mining. You won't have to click on another rock to start mining. And this isn't just a one-time deal, you can actually mine 2 rocks at once, back to back, and still have the ore vein on the wall not deplete. So it's totally RNG, but having these 2 items together is very, very nice. And I highly recommend getting them, especially if you already have the requirements for the Varrock Elite Diary. As for the Expert Mining Gloves, you actually use these minerals that you see in my inventory. They are unidentified minerals. You use these to buy the gloves from somebody in this mining guild. And that somebody is named Bellona, or Belona. You'll be needing a total of 240 unidentified minerals to buy these Expert Mining Gloves. I got the minerals whenever I was power mining iron, and I even finished off some of them whenever I was mining the amethyst rocks themselves. So when I finally had enough to buy the Expert Mining Gloves, I definitely noticed a big difference. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, this was also my first time using the crystal pickaxe here at the amethyst rocks. And I gotta say, I either got really lucky with the gloves and the Varrock armor effect triggering, or this crystal pickaxe is really a huge upgrade compared to the dragon pickaxe. You do benefit using the crystal pickaxe here because whenever I checked the charges, they were in fact depleting. So if you have a crystal pickaxe, it might be worth to bring it here, especially when you see how much XP we got in this 1 hour. And if you've been paying attention to the video, you'll see that I dropped the unidentified minerals whenever I am running out of inventory space. That is just to get 1 more amethyst rock in there before I have to bank. And luckily I was able to come back and pick up the unidentified minerals before it despawned. But if you're saving up for the Expert Mining Gloves and you're collecting the minerals, I suggest not dropping them just in case they do despawn or you lag out or something. The only reason I was dropping them is because I already have the gloves and I really don't have a use for them. I think I have over 1,000 minerals in the bank anyways. As for the spec on the crystal pickaxe, the reason I am not using it is because it was recently brought to my attention that the specs don't work past 99. So on the fishing, as like for dragon harpoons and dragon pickaxe special attacks, they don't work if you already have 99 either mining or fishing, whatever skill it is that you're boosting. Invisible boosts that you get from guilds such as the mining guild, those still work. However, those will boost you past 99, so it will act as if you have 106 mining. But if you don't have 99 mining already, then go ahead and use the spec because it will help you to boost to 99. It was kind of funny finding this out because I remember whenever I was competing with all of the gold farmers that were here, I would use the special attack to try and get an advantage over them. And I think I even used the special attack in the mining runite video that I did. So yeah, kind of funny to find out that that wasn't doing anything for me. But now that I think about it, it was actually coming in handy here because I think once I hit 99 mining, I left the amethyst rock area. So yeah. And speaking of 99 mining, I'll show some of the profit I got from mining these amethyst rocks later on. But for now, we can go ahead and do a price check of what we mined today in this 1 hour. And these are all the gems that I got. Plenty of sapphires, 1 emerald, and 1 ruby. So from the amethyst, as you can see, around 415k. And then with the sapphires, emerald, and ruby, around 421k, along with 6 unidentified minerals. The crystal pickaxe definitely came in clutch. As you can see, it got us way more than what the wiki was suggesting that you can get in the 1 hour. And we're going to go ahead and throw them in there for market price, and they instantly sell. You can probably get a little bit more money if you put them in for the actively traded price and let them sit there for a little bit. But just because we mined so many more than what the wiki said we were going to mine, I decided just to throw them in there for market price and let them insta sell. I was already happy with the profit that I made from that. And with everything being sold, we can do one last price check to see how much money we made. And as you can see here, we made around 422,000 GP. Not a bad amount of money for a very AFK method of training. Of course, you do need 92 mining for this method, but once you get there, it is smooth sailing to 99. We can now go ahead and jump to the next screen to see how much XP we got, how much money we got, and compare it to the wiki. So as we just found out right now, we did make 421,254 GP. But I think more importantly, we managed to make a whopping 27,306 mining XP. Now again, I don't know if this is the crystal pickaxe or if I just got super lucky with the items that I was wearing, the effects triggering, but that is a crazy amount of XP. I'd say over the time that I was grinding to 99, I would average around 20,000 XP an hour, and that was with the dragon pickaxe. And that was mining, 6 hours a day probably. So it was more accurate in terms of how much XP you could get per hour. But if this is accurate with the crystal pickaxe, that's a little wild. And as promised, here is a picture of the loot that I got from 92 to 99 mining at Amethyst rocks. As you can see here, I turned the Amethyst rocks into Amethyst arrow tips because that was the best money at the time. Well, it's more money if you save the Amethyst rocks, but since I was doing the no banking method, turning them into arrow tips was the best money for me. There's also Amethyst bolt tips and Amethyst javelin heads, and I suggest checking the prices on all of those before you decide to do the no banking method so that you maximize the amount of money that you can make. I also thought it was pretty cool how I finished at just 1,000 unidentified minerals. And here's a picture of me getting the mining pet at 98 mining. Honestly, if I had gotten 99 without getting this pet, I wouldn't have minded grinding for it because this is an AFK training method. But nonetheless, I was pretty excited when I saw that little guy. I just want to say thanks for checking out the video, and if you did enjoy it, please consider giving it a thumbs up and possibly a subscription. And as always, I will catch you guys in the next episode.